digital video monopoly YouTube, which is part of the digital search monopoly Google, has been accused of trying to silence conservative viewpoints. PragerU and other innocuous center-right content providers have found themselves censored on YouTube. YouTube denies doing any of this on purpose. It was accidental, they say. We have no political agenda. Well, it turns out that's a lie.
What you just heard was Tucker Carlson on Fox News exposing the fact that YouTube is censoring certain viewpoints. He goes on to detail a memo that they obtained that proves with 100% certainty that that is exactly what they are doing. Take a listen to that clip.
This show has exclusively obtained an internal YouTube memo from April of 2017, last year, that lays out in detail how YouTube censors videos. One of the reasons the extent of YouTube censorship isn't obvious to most people is because the company is smart enough not to scrub every video it wants to censor. Instead, many videos wind up in what the memo describes as limited state. Sounds like something out of Scientology. Videos in limited state are intentionally pushed down on the site, so they're harder to find. They're also demonetized, meaning the people who post them can't make money from them, no matter how often they're viewed.
There's your 100% proof that they are demonetizing and censoring specific videos. But when digging a little deeper into it, Tucker Carlson addressed the question, well, what exactly is being censored and demonetized? Who is making the calls on all of that? Well, this is what he had to say.
So what are the criteria for censoring videos on YouTube? Well, according to the memo, quote, controversial religious or supremacist content qualifies. So does, quote, highly controversial inflammatory content. What exactly does any of that mean? None of it is defined. It's totally subjective. YouTube makes the call and does so with maximum political intent.
There you have it. Controversial conflict, things that are religious in nature, or as they say, controversial religious content is specifically on there. The problem is, as Tucker has said, they don't specify exactly what that details. They it's open to interpretation. It's open to their opinion, their input. It's very, very subjective. Well, we do know now, after a year of this happening, that we know exactly who they're targeting. People on the far left are allowed to thrive and be on YouTube without censorship. They can put up a video about blacks murdering whites, and that can stay on. But the second that white people are bashed, it's not removed. Well, there's a political agenda, 100%. When friends of mine who are here on YouTube, like High Impact Flicks, has his channel removed simply because he has a more patriotic, conservative slant, and as you can see, his channel still has not been revived. When other people who are more conservative in nature, like Next News Network, another Gary franchise, is completely demonetized. Well, when Diamond and Silk, people who are Trump supporters, avid Trump supporters, had to approach Congress because of the massive amount of censorship, because of the fact that their YouTube channel is completely demonetized or demonetized selectively, well, now we know exactly who is being deemed that controversial content. They have a monopoly, and they're purposefully limiting and labeling and pushing down certain political views. While they claim not to be political, either claim to be political or don't, but don't censor one side and not the other. Censor both or none at all. When you claim to be a free speech outlet, let's stay on that path. Certain channels are allowed to thrive, as he stated in the video, as Tucker Carlson said, because they're smart enough not to eliminate all of them. But in time, through the slow boil process, it's possible. I want to make a quick shout out to those at YouTube who are a certain slant, like James Damore and others. Please stay in there. Expose the corruption of what Google is doing, and keep all political views, keep all slants on and open. Stick with the First Amendment. Keep the left and the right. Keep the conservative, the libertarian, the liberal, all with the freedom of speech. I stand on the freedom of speech for everyone, for every race, color, creed, every political slant, as long as no one's being hurt or violently abused in the process. That is where we need to thrive. But it's coming at us from all directions. I want to show you now a video clip from InfoWars. And keep in mind, I know people like them, people don't like them, people say they're bought and paid or whatever. I like InfoWars. I've never seen solid evidence otherwise. But that said, they have a right to be up sharing those political views. And so many things have come out. Donald Trump has been on his channel. Donald Trump with Diamond and Silk. And these are women that are being targeted simply because they love the President of the United States of America. Well, this is exactly what's happening to InfoWars. Take a listen to this clip.
So what happened here is a Georgia gubernatorial candidate's Facebook page was attempting to buy advertisements for their constituents. And so when you do that, when you go to Facebook, you can tell them who you want to target with your ads. You can say, I want to target people who like pages that like guns, or I want to target people who like pages that are for amusement parks. Whatever it is, you can target and focus in on that individual constituency to make sure that your ads are the most successful that they could be. So this gubernatorial candidate was attempting to buy ads in the way that so many people do, and this is what he was met with: detailed targeting. And see, you can see here where you choose your interests and additional interests, InfoWars. So you can see you can target people who like InfoWars, you can target people who like Laura Ingraham, people who like Lou Dobbs, people who like Mark Levin. But you cannot target InfoWars News. See this little symbol here? If you go up here, it says update your detailed targeting to publish this ad set. Your audience contains interests, behaviors, or demographics that will no longer be available on our platform after May 24th, 2018. You'll need to remove the flagged items from your audience before you can publish any changes.
Now, what you just heard was one of the reporters on InfoWars in a YouTube video. I'm going to link all of these below, but it was titled Emergency Message, Facebook's Conservative Purge Goes Live. You see, Facebook is also part of the problem. They are banning certain political views. And as you saw in the video clip, if you're a candidate, you're running for Congress, you're running for governor, who knows, whatever it is, now they can't even select a targeted audience to say, I want my audience to be advertised to the InfoWars people. No, they're completely removing it altogether, removing a certain political view, because Mark Zuckerberg and company are all leftist goons. They're all part of the New World Order. They've been paid. They have been bought with 100% certainty. But that's not the only ones. Twitter. This is not coming. It's here. Check out this Breitbart report. And this was put out May of this year, titled, Twitter officially admits to shadow banning users in all but name. All but name. Here's the actual verbiage on the Twitter website itself, but it specifically references eliminating troll-like behavior. Now, what it doesn't say is specifically who that troll-like behavior is. Well, we know again that when they ban certain conservatives and certain political views, then we know who the target is. It's not a bullying or hate thing. Oh no. When you can bash one race but not another, it's definitely not that. And nobody's bashing any race or color or creeds here. That's not what it's about. They're doing it and taking it off because of a political view. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like something that's happened in history's past? Absolutely. Stalin, anyone who stood against his regime, was labeled with a mental disorder, put in an institution, and shoved medicine down their throat. Yeah, this is something they did in Stalin's era. Nazi Germany, another. Many, many tyrannical regimes have done this. And this is not something that isn't coming. It's here. It's our generation that is facing it. It's you. And if we continue to sit back and do nothing, tyranny will rise. Tyranny will explode. We will lose our children and our children's children's children. And we can sit there and say, they're not coming for me, so I ignored it. They weren't coming for this group or that group, so I ignored it. And finally, they came for me. That's what's happening. We need to contact organizations such as Facebook. Let our voices be heard. Twitter, let your voices be heard. YouTube, let your voices be heard. Tell them to stop. Contact your congressman. Elect congressmen who are going to stand on our First Amendment right and principles. Elect congressmen who want to eliminate monopolies, because monopolies are illegal, but this is exactly what we're allowing with Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Sure, you could say they're personal companies and they could do what they want. Are they? Or have they become jumping points that everybody flocks to? I think there's a lot to be said there. And there's brainwashing hardcore. On my channel, I released how they're using cell phones. This was via a leaked document. I'll throw it up on the screen. And how they use these to brainwash and manipulate people all across America. You can guarantee they're using these outlets to eliminate voices that they don't want heard. Now is the time to stand. Now is the time to support channels and YouTube channels like mine. This is why I have a Patreon account. All the information is below, even Bitcoin account. I have that below. You can donate that way. I also have sponsors that I trust and believe in, like the Noble Gold Investments guy. And I say this absolutely because my channel gets demonetized as well as others. My channel is targeted as well as others. And we are walking a thin line, just trying to get this information to you. So I encourage you, you want to combat it? Support those YouTube channels. Don't support things like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, who give you a one-sided political slant. If you don't support my channel, fine. Support another channel that you like and love, and that's spreading a message of freedom of speech. Anyhow, this is an emergency transmission, and I don't pour my heart out all the time. I'm asking for your help. Share these videos far and wide. They're the only way they're going to get out. I've seen channels going from millions of views down to hundreds of thousands of views because of delisting, because of shadow banning. Turning Point USA with Brandon Tatum being one of those. Diamond and Silk being another one. My channel being another one. I didn't have millions, but it had hundreds and hundreds. It had millions of views per month, and it's gone down because of delisting. And if it was just one channel, great. But when you're talking a network of hundreds of channels that are all along the same political slant, then we've got a real issue here. Please make sure you support those channels. Spread those channels. Stop using mainstream media. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'd love to get your comments. This is Lisa Haven, signing out.